it. Hey, Angela Anderson's people. Am I supposed to be introducing you and all the things, huh? I love it. I love it. Hey, family. You know what? Do I need to be restreaming or something? I need to restream probably in a second here. But anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome to Angela Anderson's Fireside Chat on tonight. We're talking about her book release. Let me show you. I'm gonna tell you, I got the original back in the day.
The original back in the day.
The power.
Michelle, I love it. Listen. Michelle, I'm on the screen. I am on the screen.
You double on the screen. You double screened, okay? And so this is the version that I have, but then I was like, oh, she's gonna do a workbook now with the journal. Okay, because you know what? As I was reading it, I was like, I journal and I needed my own space and all that too. So I love, first of all, let me just tell you, okay, I'm all up in it now. We even did proper introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Stimpson. And I am elated to be here talking about Angela's book tonight. Angela and I go way back, like way back.
Way back.
Like far back. She has always been such an amazing supporter of authors and of women and just a person to just the times that we've been able to get together at different events and sit up in the hotel room and just talk and laugh and be goofy and loud.
That's Michelle. Yes. I love the part where we are able, like you said, to laugh, be real.
Yes, it has. We have had, we enjoy meeting with readers and signing books, but at the end of the day, we come back to that room and we're tired and hungry, and it's like, what you eating, girl? Let me have a bite of that. All of that, y'all. That's Angela Anderson. And I just appreciate who she is, how she shows up in this world. And so when her book, her first book came out,
first one,
The Power of I Am, I was like, I have to get it. I'm also like a journal chick. Like I'm a journal workbook type of a chick. So
okay,
I had to get that definitely. So we're going to jump right into it. But anything you want to say, Angela, before we get going? I got my questions and everything.
No, Michelle, I am just honored for you to come and hang out with me and to have this fireside chat. I know how we like to chat. So I'm excited to see what you have for me to talk about with the people today, with the peoples.
All right. First of all, let me just say how cute you look.
Oh, thank you.
You and that little silky, yours is real, but hey, it's all right. It's all right. I love you. I love you. I love it. All right. So I want to jump into this power of I am. Because I wonder, one of the questions that I wondered before I even read it, I know you as a woman of faith, but I wondered, how are you, when I say I am, I think of the great I am.
You better say it. You already know.
Right.
So I am.
Right. The for real I am.
Michelle, don't go get the tamarind now.
Look, right. If I unpack it, I will. But I wonder, how are you looking at I am in this book, just from a spiritual lens, from an affirmation lens? Like what is I am to you in this book, and what are people saying about how I am shows up?
I love that question, Michelle, because actually, and you're probably one of the first ones to actually ask that, but it is twofold. I mean, he is the great I am, and I know who I am is, or what have you. And then, of course, the same thing with affirmations as well. So the I am is a dual meaning. Yes.
Okay, so it's what you need it to be, and some you don't even know it is sometimes, right?
Yes, something that we have to be reminded sometimes.
Right, of whose daughter we are, who we are, all the things.
Yeah.
So have you always been like, are you a journaling chick yourself?
Okay, let's see, Michelle, when it comes to the journaling side, now, I love a good notebook. Okay. I love a good notebook, and I take notes and all that stuff. But the journaling is a little different, for me, the journaling side of it. But yeah, so I guess I'm a notebook chick. So you're a journal chick and I'm a notebook chick.
Okay. What's the difference?
Because, a notebook, Michelle, like my notebooks, like this.
Oh,
I got,
okay.
and
Okay.
then sometimes,
What's in those notebooks?
now the fancy ones is the ones that I have, and any other time, Michelle, they'll be handy. But the ones I have that, they have like little nice little sayings on there, to
Oh,
help you get your life together. Yeah, I like those. I like those
okay.
kind of notebooks. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you
Okay.
can journal in those if you choose to, you
Okay,
know.
that's what I'm trying to get because what I like about I am because and let me tell you right now, yours there's like 3 or 4 guided journals that I've really
Mm.
actually enjoyed. I generally do the whole notebook thing where I just pull out a blank sheet of paper and just go
And just journal. Yeah.
journal. And so a part of me be like, I don't need nobody to tell me what to be writing about. I know my problems. I know my scriptures.
Look, yeah, I got my own prompt.
Right. I got my own prompt in my whole mind. But I truly enjoyed the prompts that were there because it's not what I would have thought to ask myself.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Like in my mind, my
Yeah.
journal sounds like me. All the questions sound like something I want to add, like all of that. But when I come to a journal that's a guided journal, I'm going to say
Yeah.
that, and a workbook, that leads me. I mean, I still have my own thoughts, but I'm showing up.
Right.
I'm also, and maybe it's also because I just know how sweet you are. And I feel like, okay, here goes somebody that I know also loves the Lord, and I love her.
Yeah.
She loves me. Like we're gonna have this conversation kind of asynchronously in a way. And
Mhm,
and
mhm,
for me, I'm taking it always to a spiritual level and bring God into it. So I wanted to know, like,
mhm.
what has been the reaction of other folks who have read, and have what kind of experiences have they been telling you that they're having with the work?
And Michelle, I'm glad you asked that. And that's actually one of the things that I enjoy
Mm.
about even the initial book, The Power of I Am, just either the DM messages or either the text messages, or if they see me in person, for them to say, especially like, oh my goodness, day such and such was like, that gave me my whole life for today. I didn't know that I needed that. Or, that quote that you gave us. And so with the workbook and the journal, Michelle, I'm excited about it because now not only am I providing them a prompt or providing them with the I am, there are spaces in there, Michelle, for them
Mhm.
to do the work. And there are spaces in there to not only take what I've given them, but now they can kind of expound upon it. And there is a place in there for them to like journal, like in the back of the workbook in the journal, Michelle, there is lots of pages for notes and they can just journal their little
Mm.
hearts out.
Okay.
And then there is also underneath the prompts for them, because the book is actually set up in like a 5-step program, if that's what we
Okay.
should say,
Okay.
or what have you. And so with each step, there is lines for them to be able to, give feedback on what the book is asking them to do. But then
Right.
they have that extra space to journal as well. And one of the things, Michelle, that I share with them that I just absolutely love, one of the instructions is to tell them that, go back as much as you need to. So even after the 21 days, it literally tells them to go back if they need to. And Michelle, I've shared with some of the other people that I've talked to about this book. Sometimes I'm first partaker of that too. There
Mhm.
have been days where I have to go back and read my own book and be like, you know what, girl, that
Right.
was good.
Right.
I
Who
needed
wrote
that
that?
today.
Who wrote that? Girl, that was you?
For that.
Okay. Okay. I love it. I love it. And here's one other thing I truly appreciate about that. So you can go back because it's 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
21 days does not feel overwhelming.
No.
It feels like this is something that I can commit to for
Yeah.
myself. And even if I were to miss a day, it's 21 days. You could get back in. It's not like you 2, 7, 8 months behind. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I can appreciate that. And when I looked at the workbook, I was like, okay, this is like a physical book, as opposed to I just had the ebook version of the
Uh-huh.
journal
Uh-huh.
of the original piece. So
Uh-huh.
it's interesting to me that now you've got this space to do the thing and you don't have to print it all out. Because I was like, you can't print from no Kindle. That ain't gonna be the same. So I appreciate you. I'm gonna tell you something else. This is something I hadn't even thought about too much. But this journal, when I started reading it, you asked some really deep questions. And I usually take my journal in my purse around with me or some other place, but I remember thinking to myself, like, I'm glad, like, if I had the physical journal, I am glad there's a picture of a nice lady on the front and not like this big, huge, here go all my problems cover. Because
Like,
I've
this
seen
what it
journals like,
is.
right, I've seen journals that kind of give away, like, it's like hopes and dreams. You'd be like, I don't need nobody coming across this trying to read all my stuff. So I can appreciate just the depth of the work, but it's almost like a little camouflage. Like, hey, here is
Wow,
if you
Michelle, I
are,
didn't think of it that way. I really,
right,
I did think of it as like this is like your own personal individual journey that you're going on. But I
right,
literally did not think about, you know what, this say, people may not, be here like, what's she talking about?
right, right. There's something to that. I had a book once, and the title was something. I think the title was "Did I Marry the Wrong Man?" And I was at a thing, and this lady was there with her husband. She wanted to buy the book, but she was too ashamed to buy it with her husband. She didn't want him to feel bad. So when I think about a journal or something that can be as light as you want it to be or as deep as you want it to be,
Yeah.
I just think that having this yellow, the color that you've chosen, all of that just says, hey, here is a book that is uplifting somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is not,
Absolutely.
yeah. So anybody will be trying to read your stuff. I don't know if anybody else thinks about that, but I carry my journal with me. And so I definitely would have that kind of thing with me. And I don't want people to be all, looking at
Yeah.
my little
And
business.
Michelle, I was strategic about the size because again, I wanted it to be a book size, not like the pocket size.
Okay.
And I wanted people to have enough room to be able to write in
Right.
it as well. But you can put it in your little purse,
Okay. And what's the dimensions? How big is it? Do you
It's
know?
what's the standard one? The 5 by 5 by
Six by
6 by
nine. Six
yeah.
by nine. Okay. So
Look, oh Michelle,
right
I'm an author
here.
now. I know the book size. I'm a show enough author now.
Go right in my pocketbook right here.
See, right in the pocketbook or your laptop bag,
Right.
all of those good things too. And you can, and it's big enough that you won't forget it.
Right.
And it's bright, as Michelle
Right.
said, it's bright.
It's uplifting. Yellow does that. Yellow is that,
Mhm.
uplifting sunshine type of a book. And it definitely
Yeah.
does that. So let me ask you this when it comes to the I am and the statements and the affirmations and I am. Um, I think a lot of times people think of the affirmations as, oh, just something else you're saying every day, what that kind of thing, and it's like just positive thinking. Like, not that that's a bad thing, but have you come? What are your What's your thought around like the actual power of saying these things to yourself?
Mhm. Michelle, that goes back to that foundation.
Hmm.
That goes back to just the teaching of knowing the word of God and knowing the power of words, because sometimes people don't even think about how powerful their words are. I mean, I was talking to somebody earlier in the week, and I was telling them that I was like, you know what? Words have power, but words also create movement. There's like a
Mm.
currency when it comes to words. So think about if you are not having a not so good day and life is lifing. But if that's what you are verbally like speaking and keep saying it, you are actually birthing and giving life to that. Versus if we're not saying that it's not happening and life is not happening, but basically you are being intentional about the way that you address it or the way that you show up to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense when you think about
Mhm.
the Bible telling us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. Like, there
Yeah.
is definite power in how we speak. I think a lot of stuff, but I don't say it all because I'm with you. Like, I don't want to give it more power because it came from my mouth. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and putting it out there in
Yeah.
the atmosphere. And I often tell people that Michelle is so important for us to watch our words. But I know sometimes people be feeling like I'm being funny, but like to watch even what I allow other people to say about me, and they can be kind of
Right.
like joking, but I'd be like, oh
Right.
no,
No, take it back. Take it back. Take it
look,
back.
they
Take
don't have
it
to
back.
take it back for you. I'd be like, mm.
Right. Look, I did tell somebody, take the girl. You better take that back out the atmosphere. Rebuke those words right this very second. was talking about my child. I was like, oh no, don't you do
Oh,
that. But
right.
it's funny now that we mentioned children. I work a lot with schools and school districts, and this week I've been working with some seventh and eighth graders as they get ready for the state test. And
Mm.
there's a bunch of them, and they're 13 and they're 12, and in the spring, and they just want to be outside playing probably. But in the classroom, they kept talking. They just be talking, and so I remember I noticed that when I would say to them, everyone in the classroom, you all are smart. Like I would start saying good things about them, just speaking it over the whole classroom.
Yeah.
They all start listening. They all come, like it's like they're hungry for someone to say
Yeah.
those words, to speak those words over them. And when I
Yeah.
do that and say, everybody in here is capable and more than
It's
capable. You
capable.
all are
Mhm.
this is some brilliant work that you all are doing today.
Yeah.
They straighten up, they little faces kind of lighten up a little bit. So,
Right.
when we do that with children, even speaking those affirmations over them is huge.
Yeah. And I like that you said that, Michelle, because even for ourselves as adults, it's like, you know what? You're able to step into the room. You able to, look, put your shoulders back. You even able to stand a little taller when you were saying those things about yourself. So yeah.
How did you come into this? So is this like a foundational thing that you've been knowing all your life that this was important, or was it something that kind of came to you as in your growth in your Christian walk?
It literally came to me in my growth. And it has been a thing that I think once I grasped it and once I caught a hold to it and I honestly believed it, because that's key. You got to believe this thing. I was literally able to, now be able to say that I'm able to walk the walk and talk the talk because I've been there, and I've seen what affirmations can do. And I've seen how when I command my day and when I take authority over my day, when I take authority on how I deal with things. And again, I try to make sure people know I'm not saying that life don't happen, because life does. But what I'm also saying is that I choose to be intentional about how I address certain things or what have you to get me through, if that makes sense.
Okay. You went back to Cindy Trim on us. And Dr. Late Miles Monroe on us.
Okay. Hey, see, I'm old school.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of them teachers still stand.
You know what? I will go back and read that as well. Like this is 21 days. You can go back to that. All the things. The word is going to be true at all times.
Absolutely.
Anyway. Right. So now I don't know if you talked about this before, but I know this book was a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long? For real?
Michelle, and it's funny now because remember, Michelle, was 2 years ago. So back then I can say it was 8 years, but I guess the first book came out 2 years ago, which was 8 years in the making. And then the workbook, Michelle, it'll be 2 years coming. It's not quite 2 years, but it's 2 years coming. But again, I felt like even though it took that long for the first book, when I look back at everything, it was right on time of when it was supposed to come, if that makes sense.
Yes, that makes total sense. So what made you do the workbook now?
Michelle, look, the people was asking. The people was like, listen. And some people did what you did, Michelle. They was like, you know what? I'm going to take it upon myself. I'm going to use these blank pages or these blank spaces. And I'm going to take notes. I'm going to journal in that. And so I was like, you know what? I need to do a workbook and a journal. And when that idea came to me, Michelle, I was really strategic about it. I take this very, very seriously because again, there's a 21-day challenge that's coming up pretty soon. And I didn't just want this to be like just your ordinary, every day, this is another workbook and journal. No, I wanted this to be a workbook and a journal that people can actually take this workshop, this workbook, do the work, be proud of their journey, and individualize it and to be intentional. And one of the things, Michelle, that I say on the back of the book when I'm telling people about it, I was like, this isn't just a workbook, meaning, this is not your ordinary workbook. This is a mirror, a movement, and a bold decoration. And one of the other things, Michelle, on the back of the book, the back blurb of the workbook and journal, the first thing that you see in bold letters, it was like, you poured into everyone else. Now it's your turn. And I wanted people or individuals, women in particular, to know how important it is for them to be intentional about pouring into themselves and taking care of themselves.
Yeah, yeah, that's huge, particularly for women,
Mm-hmm.
because that's how, I mean, we're just socialized to just give and give and give.
Mm-hmm.
So we just ain't got nothing left.
Yeah.
Right? As a man,
There them fumes. Them fumes be having fumes.
running on the fumes, child, it'd be a lot. So let me ask you this. I noticed on the back also that you've got kind of four some goals. Clarity is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So let me read the last line of it, one of the last lines. Whether you're seeking clarity, healing, or simply a moment to breathe, this journal meets you where you are and reminds you of who you've always been. You got this.
Mm-hmm.
Let the journey begin. So we've talked a little bit about just making sure that you've got the time for yourself, that moment to breathe. But how might this bring about clarity and even healing for
Mm.
others?
Yeah, and Michelle, clarity is very important because think about if you have, it's almost like it's freedom in clarity. Think
Mhm.
about sometimes when there's like a bunch of clutter or things are unclear. Sometimes it can put you at a standstill, or it can almost like fear. It can almost like paralyze you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And not only that, think about how much more beneficial you can be to yourself and others when you are so clear and you
Mhm.
have a clear mind. So that's the clarity part that I want people to get, or what have you. And what was the next question you asked, or the next section of
Healing,
that?
healing, healing, honey.
Yeah, Michelle, first of all, before we even kind of go into all these other things, the I am statements, that healing has to take place. And even if you're not 100% healed, you need to be willing to at least start the process of healing. And so if you are clear on that,
Mhm.
and you are willing to take the next step and to take the journey, that know that you are actually so deserving of your healing. You are so deserving of self care. You are so deserving to be at peace, to do all those things. That's where I want people to know that it's okay to be a first partaker in your healing. And this book will also help you to be at peace with that and to be able to do it, intentionally. So I'm glad that you brought up the part about healing because that's so
Yeah,
important. That's
that's
so
huge.
important.
And
Mhm. And Michelle, it goes back to your journaling.
Mhm.
Think about if they're able to journal and take notes, that can also be therapeutic for them because they may need to, it may be tears running down their face, but they may need to journal in that moment what
Mhm.
they're feeling.
Right.
It could be they may have a scripture, they may have a song, they may have a thought. They may have some angry thoughts that they just need to flesh out.
Right.
This is your individual workbook and journal, and you have the authority, you have the permission to do that here on the pages.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I love how you're, to me, it just keeps coming back to the whole guiding piece. So I was in a journaling
Mhm.
session with some folks, and a lady, we journaled for like 14 minutes. You don't even need 14 minutes necessarily all the time, but we were there for 14 minutes. And a person said, you know what, I had a lot of anxiety in my body, and now it's on a piece of paper. Like it's no longer in me. Like it's now
Wow.
out of me. And I just
Wow.
thought that is powerful.
It is. It
That's a
is,
part of the
Michelle.
healing. That's a part of that healing and you know
Yeah.
what, it's so funny because we throw that word around like, it's just something plain and simple. And I remember thinking when I first heard that word kind of in these self-care spaces, I was like,
Mhm.
I mean, healing to me is like you just got a cut and you need a band-aid. And like who is going around getting cut that many times where you got to get healed every 5 minutes? Like, you need to move rooms or something. But I recognize that life throws you cuts, right?
Yeah.
And it could be a cut as simple as you were going this way and somebody cut you off and you're like, man, now I gotta go down another exit. Or it could be something, it could be a loss or a grief, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I don't think the goal is necessarily to keep from getting cut. It's just how do we heal? What is your healing?
Mm.
What does your healing look like on a regular basis? And for so many people, that looks like nothing. It's
Right.
maybe when they go to sleep at night, thankfully their body was going to shut down and there's that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. But to be intentional about it and to start with just 21 days. I remember, okay, the first day of the power of I am. I remember, I think I even texted you about that. I
Yeah,
don't remember.
you
But I was,
did. You
I
did.
was journaling chick. I be knowing stuff. I mean, I'm not saying I know it all, but I'm just saying I feel like I've read a lot of things in this space. And so
Yeah.
after looking at your thoughts for each day, I thought these are really some original thoughts that the Lord has put on her heart
Mm-hmm.
to talk to, all the people who will read it. So thank you for
Yeah.
that. Well, I appreciate
You're
it.
so welcome.
Yes.
And Michelle, I'm glad that you mentioned something a few minutes ago. Even it was in the journaling space, which you was like, y'all had about 15 minutes or 14 minutes
Mm-hmm.
to journal. And so one of the things that I was intentional about with the first book and with the workbook and journal as well, is because I know that, everybody's busy.
Right.
Everybody is, everything is fast paced now, or what
Mm-hmm.
have you. But with this book, again, in about 15 minutes, you can take 15 minutes, or if you're really rushing, you can take 10 minutes to invest in yourself, whether you do it in the morning, whether you do it midday, whether you do it at night before you go to bed. It just takes about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, to have a moment with yourself, a self-care moment, a pause,
Mm-hmm.
a mental break.
Right.
If I shall say. And again, that goes back into that whole refueling, Michelle, that actually goes back into that whole pouring into your cup. I love to say you cannot pour from an empty cup. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm a firm believer that, anything that other people is getting, they should be getting the overflow, and that avoid them getting the fumes that we be given,
Right.
or what have you. So again, this book is quick and it's fast paced. And I'm really excited about the 21-day challenge, Michelle, that the date is
Okay.
coming very,
Yeah, you
very
got to tell us
soon.
about that. Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Before you say, I got to tell you what you just said. Remind me, one of my big sister in Christ. She was like, "Whoever ain't got 10 minutes to spend time alone with the Lord, you too busy. You doing more than He
Yeah.
wants you to do."
They too busy. They too busy.
Look, I don't try to tell people what to do with their life, but she will. She's like, "You ain't got 10 minutes for yourself. It's too much on your agenda." That was some mama B right there.
Look,
All
Michelle,
right.
I was about to say, Michelle, that should be in one of your books.
She probably do. Like, look, God didn't make nobody to run 24 hours a day. He didn't do that. That ain't even how He made you. All right. So tell us about the. Hey, Jennifer. I think I saw Myra come in there earlier, didn't I?
Hey, Myra.
No. Okay. Myra was, yes, Myra with her new book as well. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, Latasha. Oh, look at the people. All right. So tell us about the challenge. I'm like, yes, come on with this challenge,
So,
Angela.
Michelle, I'm super duper excited. The 21-day challenge, like I said, the date is coming really, really soon. I'm almost there with the date, or what have you. But Michelle, this will be a time for us to collectively, I know Michelle uses the word like a guided journal. We're going to go, ladies, we're going to get together and we're going to go through this 21-day challenge together. There will be some days where we'll kind of have some live group events. If you're inside the challenge, we'll have some checkpoints where we can check in and out, all of that good stuff. But we're going to go through this book together, and I'm super duper excited. There will be moments where we can journal together. There'll be moments where you journal on your own, but we're going to collaborate as a sisterhood. Brothers, you can come too if you need to, but sisters, if you can come.
Be there. They need healing.
Yes. Look, tell the people. But we're going to do it together. And I'm super duper excited about this 21-day challenge, Michelle, for the people, like you said, too, whether they need to heal, whether they need to be intentional about self-care, whether they need to, just take the first step. If they need to take the first initiative, you'll be able to do it with the 21-day challenge. And I guarantee you, and I promise you, it will be a safe space to start your journey.
Thank you, because so many people need support in that, because you feel like you fall off the bandwagon. You feel like, oh my goodness, I can't do it. What happens if this? Just come on.
Just come on.
So how can they join the challenge? How can they stay in touch with you, Angela? What can we do to continue to support you?
I love it. Of course, guys, you can follow me on social media, Angela Anderson Presents. My website is the best place, AngelaAndersonPresents.org. workbook.org. You will be able to sign up pretty soon. I'll be providing a link for you to sign up. I'll be providing you with, what it is, the amount to register, all of
Mhm.
that good stuff. There will be a VIP section as well. There'll be some extra bonus goodies for those individuals. And Michelle, right now, both books are available. Okay. So the original book, The Power of I Am, is
Mhm.
available. And then, of course, the workbook and journal, it is available as well. Michelle, they actually can do a bundle. The books are 15 a piece. But if they bundle and get them from me, it is a 25. So you get a little savings there, or what have you. Feel
Okay.
free. Of course, you can order from, Amazon. If you choose to order from there, you can order from there as well, but you can get them directly from me.
All right. So you're my first choice. I'm just saying.
I got you.
We still got time to order the books and get them in and get in the challenge and all
Yes,
that
yes,
stuff.
Michelle. They will have enough time to order their books, get them in, and be ready for the challenge. And of course, once I send all the information out, Michelle, it'll definitely let them know of how they can order their books and they can be ready for the challenge. And there's some little goodies that come
Okay.
too if you sign up for the challenge.
All right. Thank you, Angela. This has been awesome.
Michelle, I've enjoyed,
Yes.
like, just genuinely, I felt like I'm just sitting down, look, fireside chat, just talking to my
This is what
friend.
it is. This is what you do at a fireside chat. And those who are in the challenge will get the opportunity to. Y'all gonna be doing all. If they're anything like when Angela comes to your hotel room at the conference, y'all gonna be laughing. We're gonna be laughing, having an awesome time.
Awesome time.
Angela's presence. Awesome. Thank you again, everybody, for coming in, learning more about Angela Anderson and her works. And I'm just super thank you, Angela, for the opportunity to talk about this because so many people need just that push or that guidance and that affirmation and just reminder of who we
Mhm.
are as we are in this world. So thanks for being a light.
You were so welcome, Michelle. I appreciate you
Yes.
hanging out with me today.
All right. Let the Lord use you. All right. Bye
Bye,
bye,
guys. Thank
everybody.
y'all for joining us.